Welcome to another episode of Q&A with Kids. Today we are so lucky to have with us Abuna Mark from St Mark's Church in Arncliffe, Sydney, and three beautiful girls, Amelia, Chloe and Joanna, to ask a few questions. I think the first question is going to be asked by Amelia. Amelia, are you ready? I'm sure you have a tough one for Abuna. Go ahead.
Okay, Amelia.
Where was God when the world wasn't even made?
Wow, when the world wasn't even made, Abuna, where was God? That is a really deep question.
It's a tough question, Amelia. Well, do you know who made the world?
Oh, I don't think they can answer that, Abuna. Do you really think Amelia would know the answer?
Yeah. Amelia, do you know who made the world?
Go for it.
Who?
God.
God. Excellent.
Wow.
So that means for sure that God was always there. There wasn't ever a time when God didn't exist. God always existed because He's the one that made the world. There had to be a creator, and as you rightly said, the creator is God.
Wow, Abuna.
But to answer your question, well, God didn't need the world He created to live in because He already was always living in heaven.
Gee, Abuna. So, Abuna, are you saying that God just is? He is.
Exactly. He was always there. And
Wow.
because He was always there, He was able then to create the world for us to live in.
Beautiful. We have a wonderful God who was always there. He was, and He is, and He always will be.
How was God alive if no one made him?
How was God alive if no one made Him? Abuna, today these questions are just too tough for me. I hope you're ready to answer them.
Well, who made you?
Are you really going to think Chloe knows the answer to that? Come on, Abuna.
She's smart. Who made you, Chloe?
God.
God made you. Excellent.
God.
Yes. God is the source of creation. He is the one who creates. But every creation needs a source, a creator. Yeah? So our creator is God. And He didn't need anyone to create Him because He is the creator. Yeah? He is the artist. He is the master planner. He is the source of all of creation. So actually nobody created God. Nobody made God. He was always there and He began to create the world and us to live in the world that He created.
Wow, Abuna. So you're saying that God creates, which means He makes something from nothing.
Exactly right.
What a great God we have indeed.
Where is God and why we can't see him?
We can't see God, Abuna, and that's a great question. Why can't we see Him? Where is He if we can't?
Well, I think we can see God.
Really? How?
I think we can see Him in many, many ways, okay? I want to share with you some ways in which we can see God, okay? First of all, God actually came to earth so we could see Him. What was His name?
Jesus?
Jesus. So God didn't want to just stay in heaven and not let us see Him. He thought, I'm going to come down to earth so they can see me. So Jesus came down to earth as Jesus, and we saw Him, and we read about Him in the Bible. We read His miracles, His stories, His teaching, and we can understand who He is because He came down as a man, as Jesus. So we have seen Him in Jesus. But then what Jesus did before He left the world, He said, I want to always be with you. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my body and my blood. I'm going to give you Holy Communion. So every week you come to church, you will see me on the altar. I will stay with you all the time. So we get to see Jesus in the church all the time. But not just that, we see him in many ways, other ways. I see him in you.
Wow.
I see him in creation.
Beautiful.
In all the beauty of his creation, we see him. Yeah? So we see Jesus when he came to earth. We read about him in the Bible. We see him on the altar in the Mass at church. And we see him in all creation.
So, Abuna, God is no longer a mystery for us.
No.
That makes sense. That's why God came to earth, so we could see him with our own eyes. And on the altar every day of the year, we can eat his body and drink his blood and touch him, and he becomes part of us. That all makes sense now, Abuna. That's fantastic.
Does that make you happy now that you get to see Jesus all the time?
Yes, it does. I think it makes us all happy as Christians and as sons and daughters of God. Thank you so much, Abuna, for enlightening us today. And thank you to the three girls who asked us the questions, Amelia, Chloe, and Joanna. They were brilliant questions. And equally, Abuna, they were brilliant answers.
No, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And see you, and bye for now, and we look forward to seeing you again on another episode of Q&A with Kids. Bye.